Have you ever wondered why certain thoughts, decisions, or even beliefs seem to arise out of nowhere? What if I told you that your subconscious mind, the unseen powerhouse shaping your reality, might not be as independent as you think? You being here, watching this video, isn't a coincidence. It's divine timing. The answers you've been seeking could very well be unfolding right now. And this message is meant to awaken something within you. You see, there's a higher purpose for everything, even in moments when we feel out of control. The truth is, forces are working, sometimes subtly, sometimes boldly, to shape your mind, guide your choices, and dictate your path. But you're not powerless. You are chosen, equipped with the tools to rise above manipulation and reclaim the power of your mind. If you feel something stirring within you right now, something telling you this message is for you, then let it be a sign. Declare it boldly in the comments. I'm ready to listen. Because today, we're diving into truths that most wouldn't dare to share. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover has the potential to shift not just your perspective, but your spiritual path entirely. Let's uncover how they secretly control your subconscious mind, and most importantly, how you can break free. Did you know that every day, your subconscious mind is being influenced in ways you can barely perceive? Governments, corporations, and media have long mastered the art of planting seeds in the fertile soil of your mind, shaping your beliefs and decisions without your awareness. These forces don't operate in the open. They use subtlety, repetition, and emotion to bend your will to their agendas. But here's the truth. Their power only works if you're unaware of it. Once you see it, you can break free. Think about the advertisements you see daily. That perfect image of happiness tied to a product wasn't an accident. It was meticulously designed to appeal to your deepest desires: security, love, belonging. And what about the news? Notice how certain headlines evoke fear, outrage, or helplessness. This isn't just reporting, it's strategic. Fear makes people easier to control, more willing to conform. The Bible warns us about these tactics. Romans 12 verse 2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This isn't just a call to resist, but a promise that your mind can be freed from these unseen chains. You were created to think freely, to discern truth from deception. Even entertainment plays a role. Movies and TV shows subtly reinforce societal norms: what's acceptable, what's desirable, and what's not. These narratives may seem harmless, but they quietly shape how we perceive the world and ourselves. Over time, these messages take root, creating a framework through which we interpret everything. And here's the kicker. They know the subconscious mind is the gateway to your reality, and they use that knowledge against you. But you're not powerless. Awareness is your first step to freedom. Ask yourself, who is feeding your mind? What beliefs have you passively accepted as truth? Your subconscious mind is sacred ground, and God has given you the authority to guard it. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5 reminds us to take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. This is your call to action, to reclaim your mind, challenge the narratives, and stand firm in the truth. Now, let's uncover how this programming starts so early that it feels like second nature. Are you ready to go deeper? From the moment you were born, your mind began absorbing everything around you like a sponge. Your subconscious, a quiet yet powerful part of your brain, has been programmed by your environment, shaping your beliefs, fears, and identity. It starts innocently enough. The things your parents say, the lessons from school, and the stories told through culture. But here's the shocking part. This programming is not always meant to empower you. In fact, much of it is designed to control you. Think back to childhood. Were you told to follow rules without questioning them? Were phrases like "money doesn't grow on trees" or "don't aim too high" drilled into you? These seemingly harmless words laid the foundation for how you perceive abundance, success, and even your worth. Society molds children to fit its systems, to obey, to conform, and to rarely think outside the lines. Media plays a massive role here, too. Cartoons and kids' shows aren't just entertainment. They're tools for shaping behavior. Subtle messages about what's normal and acceptable begin to define a child's worldview. Later, as adults, these same principles appear in advertising, politics, and social norms, solidifying the framework. The Bible offers a counter-strategy to this world's programming. Proverbs 22 verse 6 says, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." This isn't just about children. It's a reminder of how deeply early influences shape us. But here's the good news. With God's help, you can reprogram your mind. The habits and beliefs ingrained in your subconscious don't have to define your future. Recognize that this programming is not your fault, but breaking free is your responsibility. Start questioning the beliefs you've carried for years. Who told you you're not good enough? Who said success is only for others? These lies must be replaced with God's truth. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139 verse 14. The patterns you absorbed in childhood no longer need to dictate your life. Replay this video to fully absorb the meaning, and let God's purpose for you settle into your heart. Now, let's uncover how modern technology continues to shape your thoughts today. In today's world, the devices we hold in our hands have become more than tools. They are powerful influencers that subtly shape our thoughts, behaviors, and even our identities. Algorithms, notifications, and endless feeds are not just conveniences. They are crafted to dominate your attention and program your subconscious mind. But here's the reality they don't want you to realize. You can break free. Have you ever noticed how one video or ad leads to another, perfectly aligned with your interests? That's no accident. Algorithms study your habits, preferences, and even vulnerabilities to create a digital echo chamber. The more you engage, the more you're fed content that reinforces specific beliefs, even if those beliefs aren't true. Over time, this constant feedback loop rewires your brain, normalizing behaviors and thoughts you didn't consciously choose. Notifications are another sneaky player in this game. Each buzz, ding, and pop-up is designed to trigger a response, releasing dopamine, a chemical that makes you feel rewarded. Before long, you're hooked, checking your phone compulsively, without even realizing how much control you've given away. The digital world has learned to manipulate one of God's greatest gifts to you, your mind. Romans 8 verse 6 warns, "The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace." If your mind is constantly consumed by what algorithms feed you, it's hard to hear God's voice or recognize His guidance. The enemy thrives in distraction, but God calls you to focus on what truly matters. Breaking free starts with awareness. Set boundaries for your digital consumption. Take control of your screen time. Unfollow accounts that don't align with your purpose, and choose content that uplifts your spirit instead of feeding fear or comparison. Reclaim your time and attention as sacred spaces for God to work in your life. You are not a slave to technology. You are chosen, created to live intentionally, not reactively. Declare it boldly, "I'm a chosen one," in the comments below. Now, let's look at the bigger system at play and how societal constructs are used to maintain control over individuals. Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle you didn't choose? Society has built systems, work culture, debt, consumerism, that subtly box you in, convincing you this is just how life works. But what if these systems were designed to keep you in place, ensuring you never fully realize your power? It's time to pull back the curtain and see the truth for what it is. Work culture is a prime example. The idea that your worth is tied to productivity didn't come from God. It's a construct of a world obsessed with output. From the daily grind to chasing promotions, this endless cycle leaves little room for self-reflection, creativity, or spiritual growth. And debt, it's more than financial, it's psychological. Loans and credit systems promise freedom, but often trap you in dependency. The more weighed down you are by bills, the harder it is to focus on your calling. Then there's consumerism, constantly whispering, "You need this to be happy." Advertisements tell you to buy, upgrade, and replace, filling a void that things can't truly satisfy. These systems thrive on one thing, keeping you too distracted to notice the bigger picture. But here's the truth. God never called you to live as a slave to these constructs. Galatians 5 verse 1 declares, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." This freedom isn't just spiritual. It's a call to break free from the chains society has placed on you. Start asking yourself, why do I feel like I need to keep up with the world's pace? Who benefits from my exhaustion, my debt, my constant need for more? The answers will shock you, but they'll also empower you. You weren't made for this cycle. You were made to thrive, to live abundantly, and to walk in purpose. Take small steps toward freedom. Simplify your life. Embrace gratitude, and focus on what truly matters. God has already given you everything you need to fulfill your purpose. It's time to reclaim it. Now, let's explore how even the words we use are part of this control. Language is more powerful than you think. Words are more powerful than we often realize. They don't just communicate, they shape how we think, feel, and perceive the world. From the phrases we use daily to the terminology pushed by media and corporations, language is a tool that can either liberate or control. And if you're not aware of how it's being used, it can quietly define the limits of your reality. Think about the words you hear every day. Hustle culture, grind, work-life balance. These phrases sound positive, but subtly reinforce the idea that your value comes from how much you can do or produce. Media headlines are even more manipulative, often crafted to provoke fear or urgency. Crisis, emergency, breaking news. These words keep your mind in a constant state of anxiety, making you more susceptible to influence. Even casual language can program your subconscious. Have you ever said or heard phrases like, "I'll never get ahead," or "That's just the way it is"? These words may seem harmless, but they reflect and reinforce beliefs of limitation and resignation. Over time, they become the framework through which you view yourself and your possibilities. Proverbs 18 verse 21 tells us, "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." This isn't just about speaking positively. It's a reminder that words carry creative power. What you speak over yourself shapes your reality, and what you allow others to speak into your life can either uplift or tear you down. It's time to take control of the language you use and consume. Start by speaking life into your circumstances. Replace "I can't" with "Through God, I can." Speak blessings over your life, your work, and your relationships. Be intentional about the words you allow into your mind, whether from others, media, or even yourself. Remember, you're chosen, and your words have the power to align with God's truth. Declare it boldly. "I speak life and truth over myself." Now, let's uncover how even the frequencies you're exposed to can impact your mind, body, and spirit. Everything in the universe vibrates, from the sound of your voice to the beat of your heart. Frequencies shape the world around us, influencing not only our emotions, but also our mental and physical states. Yet, many of the artificial frequencies we're exposed to daily, through technology, music, and even infrastructure, are designed to disrupt natural harmony. These disruptions can leave you feeling drained, unfocused, and disconnected from your true self. But understanding this manipulation is the first step toward freedom. Think about the music you listen to. Much of modern music is tuned to 440 Hz, a frequency standardized in the 20th century. However, some studies suggest that this frequency may create tension and unease. Contrast this with 432 Hz, often referred to as the natural frequency of the universe, which is believed to promote peace and harmony. Why was this shift made? Could it be that the very sounds we immerse ourselves in are being used to keep us out of balance? Even technology contributes to this manipulation. Devices emit electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs, that subtly affect your body's natural rhythms. Have you ever felt restless or anxious after spending hours in front of a screen? That's no accident. These artificial frequencies disrupt your natural state, making it harder to feel connected to God, to others, and even to yourself. The Bible teaches us to guard our hearts and minds. Philippians 4 verse 7 promises, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." To reclaim this peace, you must realign with God's natural order. Start by limiting exposure to disruptive frequencies. Spend less time on devices. Listen to music that uplifts your spirit and explore natural soundscapes like ocean waves or birdsong. To recalibrate your energy, you can also incorporate silence into your day, allowing space for God's voice to reach you without interference. Remember, God created you in harmony with the universe, and nothing artificial can overpower His divine design. Declare it, "I align with God's frequency." Now, let's rediscover the power of reconnecting with nature, where true peace and clarity can be found. In a world dominated by screens, schedules, and synthetic distractions, the healing power of nature often goes overlooked. Yet, it is in nature that we find the rhythm and harmony God intended for us. The wind in the trees, the gentle flow of water, the warmth of the sun, each is a reminder of the Creator's divine presence and a call to realign with His design. Have you ever noticed how stepping outside can instantly shift your mood? That's no coincidence. God infused creation with frequencies that calm the mind, heal the body, and restore the spirit. Psalm 19 verse 1 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of His hands." Nature is God's canvas, designed not just for beauty but for balance and renewal. But modern life pulls us away from this balance. Hours spent indoors, surrounded by artificial light and constant noise, create a disconnect that leaves us feeling restless and drained. The solution? Reconnection. A simple walk in the park, standing barefoot on the earth, or even breathing deeply in a garden can ground you, quiet your thoughts, and open your spirit to God's voice. Practical steps make this reconnection accessible. Begin your day by stepping outside, even for a few minutes, and soaking in the sunrise. Take breaks from technology to immerse yourself in the natural world. Use moments in nature as opportunities to pray, meditate, and listen. Let the stillness of a forest or the rhythm of ocean waves remind you of God's eternal peace. Nature also invites us to slow down and trust God's timing. Just as trees grow steadily and rivers carve paths over centuries, so does God's purpose unfold in your life. You don't have to rush. He's already aligning everything perfectly for you. Declare this over your life. I choose to reconnect with God's creation and find peace in His design. Nature is not just a sanctuary. It's a source of strength, clarity, and inspiration, reminding you of who you truly are, a child of God. Now that you've uncovered the layers of control surrounding your subconscious mind, the question remains: how will you take back the authority God has already given you? Will you challenge the narratives shaping your beliefs? Step out of the systems that bind you and reconnect with the divine harmony of creation. Remember, every tool of manipulation, from subconscious programming to artificial frequencies, was designed to distract and disempower you. But you are not just anyone. You are chosen. You carry the light of God within you, a light that cannot be dimmed by worldly forces. Psalm 27 verse 1 reminds us, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" Let that truth embolden you as you rise above the noise. Take a moment to reflect. Are you ready to step into your God-given power, trusting that He has already prepared the way? Are you willing to replace old patterns of fear and limitation with God's truth and promises? If this message has stirred your spirit, don't let it end here. Replay the video, allowing its meaning to sink deeper into your heart. Comment below with Amen to declare your readiness to walk boldly in your purpose. And share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. You never know how it could change their life. This is your moment. Don't let it slip by. Step into the freedom, clarity, and purpose God has always intended for you. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a message meant to inspire and uplift your spirit. You are chosen, loved, and called. Walk in that truth and let the world see the light of God shining through you.